Great. So you want your story and your perspective on Vox. Who wouldn't? But how do you get there? I'm with the person who can make it happen, Chris Shea. Thanks so much for joining us.
Sure.
Great. Now we're at PR Summit DC, and there are two special sections within Perspectives that have the best opportunities. Why don't you tell us about them?
Okay, well, we've got two different verticals. One is the big idea, which is for think pieces, maybe 1,000 words to 1,500 words from economists, healthcare experts, political scientists, technologists. And the other one is first person, which is our more personal essays.
So let's take either of those one by one. Normally, PR people are hearing from journalists what doesn't work, because obviously that's the overwhelming majority due to space. But what are some things that might help someone catch your eye? And you can take it separately for each section, because obviously they have a whole different thought process.
Well, I think that the most important thing is to have read our section and shown that you understand what our format is. So we get a lot of pieces that are just quick 600 or 800 word opinion pieces. And I always think, or I'll even tell people, those make perfect sense for a local newspaper or the Times or something like that. But we're looking for something a little bit different, something a little, I guess, more elevated or sweeping for the big idea.
So what would be a word count that would be sort of in line with what you're going to end up publishing?
Well, we would. The final thing would be around 1,000 words or 1,500 words. It might be useful to people have different perspectives on this, but a pitch might be useful in that case. Maybe a few paragraphs and say my author could spin this out to 1,200 or 1,400 words, or we're happy to read the piece. Either way works.
Yeah, I think obviously ideal if they get it to you and it's ready in the format that you can use. That makes sense. One interesting thing that came up on panels, the idea an event's happening and you might have someone who can speak to it. Does it make sense to sort of touch base with you in advance to try and maybe shape it and frame it so it has a better shot at being used?
Yeah, that was an interesting question. I think the more specific that is, the better. Like, so if somebody said, the Russia summit is coming up, I have someone who can contribute, that's not of much use. If you have, and also sort of the commenting before something happens is sort of awkward. But if you have a strong opinion about Russia policy, obviously the day of the summit would be the time to have it happen. So yes, we'd like to see that in advance. And I think as everybody was saying, things are becoming ever more time sensitive. And so being able to publish a piece the day of the summit that makes a really strong argument about, say, Russia policy would definitely be an asset for us.
Right. Now, everything in these heated times is considered partisan no matter where you stand. Is it a good idea to try and actually share different sides of an issue that might appeal to a wider swath of audience?
Well, not in the same piece, right? You mean, we're open to ideas from across the spectrum. And we certainly don't want cliche right-left takes. Certainly you wouldn't want to have a piece that delivered both sides of an argument. You want something strong and personal and well argued. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter so much where it falls on the ideological spectrum.
Awesome, and we look forward to a time when there's going to be video commentary on Vox from outside folks, because I think you'll start getting a lot of that, and that is starting to move the needle. Obviously, your own people put videos out there that I'm sure you see are very well received.
Yeah, certainly we have thought leaders and opinion writers appear in our videos. We haven't made the leap yet to having people speak to the camera. So far, that's been reserved for our in-house people, but it could happen, certainly.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.